Yeah, I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I'll be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court, cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, HNIC, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, HNIC, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free, minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, HNIC, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, HNIC, everybody wants to be.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. I'm finna cut up tonight. Shout out to Mr. Fantastic for letting me on this panel. I probably did a little bit too much because I should have been doing too much on this one. And shout out to Edward Anderson. I only listened about 10 minutes. He was right. He was going in where I was about to go. So this whole thing is about, as you can see in the thumbnail, all this stuff going around with the draft with Shedeur Sanders, right? And for a lot of y'all, like everybody keep tiptoeing, it's got to be racism. Yes. It's got to be personal. Yes. And it doesn't make any sense because it's race and it's personal. And that's a yes too. So here's my thing, man. What's going on is, you hear people, this happens all the time. And this is why this needs to be talked about more often, because America and Americans are so hypocritical when it comes to meritocracy, when it comes to race, when it comes to all of these rules we abide by. But the minute you switch the color, people lose their mind. So basically, when I was looking at the draft for the last few days, all it looked like to me is white people and black people looking at Shedeur Sanders and going, oh, who that quarterback on that nag? Who he is? Why he on that nag? Like, that's all. Everybody's playing this Steven role where he's confident and I don't like that. He got a daddy that's confident and I don't like that. And that's a problem for me. What's the problem? What's the problem? He act like he's somebody. He need to get down off that nag and humble himself. What are y'all on that dope again, huh? Y'all on that dope again. We want to play this game. Well, see, this is why I say it's a race thing. It's partially a race thing. It's because every time some unprecedented bullshit happens, it normally happens to black people, and everybody tries to, and everybody plays it. It's not a race thing. It's not really a race thing. It's not really a race thing, but we can explain how this is happening to this person because this has never happened before. But it's not. But it can't be a race thing. It's just they just happen to be a different race. That's all that happens. It's like, bro, we do it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because we'll play the, hey, Cam Ward was black and he got drafted first. Yeah, interesting, ain't it? It was what? But damn, but what you telling me now? If Cam Ward daddy was Charlie Ward, or if Cam Ward daddy was Deion Sanders, his ass wouldn't have got drafted to the 5th round. That's what you're telling me. And the reason why I got to get into this is because, here we go. This has nothing to do with it. Name a scenario where this has ever happened before with anybody of any other race. You can't. This is where I don't even have to respectfully disagree. Y'all acting like a bunch of bitches. That's what this is. It's a bitch-made scenario with bitch-made people making bitch-made decisions, and people want to act like a bitch about it and act like, I don't know what it's got to be. He needs to humble himself, and he shouldn't be so confident, and I don't like his dad, and he could be a distraction by playing a game. He don't you understand? No, it's just more hoe shit. It's just more hoe shit with hoe people and their hoe agendas. This is just basically Brandon Tatum of football, Nick Fuentes football. Remember when Rush Limbaugh got on ESPN? Well, maybe Donovan McNabb isn't that good because he's black. This is just basically that. That's all this is. Time and time again, it's the same BS. It's the same BS. He got drafted. Congratulations. Cool. But it's his character. What's up with his character? He's confident. What the fuck? That's what you want people to be in sports. Confident. The fuck are you talking about? He could bring too much attention to the team. That's what you want your draft picks to do. Bring attention to the team. What are we talking about? Y'all got Mel Kiper out here looking like he on dope. Like, I've never did that. Alpha physique. If you don't shut your stupid ass up, no team in history of the NFL gave a prospect their playbook. No, they don't do that. They don't do that. They don't give them playbooks. You stupid motherfucker. They'll give you route combinations and defenses, but they will not give you playbooks. This is what I mean. Y'all be making shit up. You make shit up and act like it's real. That's not how it works. You've never heard of a fucking team in NFL draft history give a person a playbook before they got drafted. Name a person who got the team's playbook before they got drafted then. Anybody, any year, goddammit. Name somebody in the draft process. Oh, the Buffalo Bills, here's our playbook. Read it and see if you can comprehend it. No. Yeah. Hi, we're the New York Giants. Here's our playbook before the draft. Read it. No, because he could fucking take that to another team. This is why I'm talking about this, because this shit is stupid when y'all make this shit up. And I bet you want to know, how would I know? Because I got family members that was in the NFL. They don't get a playbook until after they drafted. Y'all niggas be on. Y'all be on one. And they say that shit every year. They got drafted. Now he got his playbook, and now it's time to study the game. That's how that shit go. This is what I mean by, people do this shit because they don't really have a real thing. And you see this over and over and over again, and it's fucked up to have to say it. This is the thing that was going on a few weeks ago with Carmelo Anthony. Niggas just making up shit. Like, this is the issue. Are you good or are you not? He bombed his interview. How many motherfuckers bomb their interviews and still got drafted by other teams? That happens every year. People have great interviews and don't get drafted by teams every year. People, he was great on the Wonderlic test and get drafted and then don't get drafted. He was horrible on the Wonderlic test and then get drafted and don't get drafted. This is a bunch of bullshit. But here we go. Who that quarterback on that nag? How dare he? Because we was clowning about this shit at work. People go. My homeboy was like, who else had a 50% win rate in college and was a top, was a top pick. And I looked, I was like, okay, Drake May, Daniel Jones. But they say he had a 50% win rate, but that's because they don't want to count Jackson State. He was in college for 3 years. Honestly, he had like a 60% win rate, but you don't want to count the 8. You people count shit when they want to, and they don't count shit when they want to. And they act like it's all the same thing. But here's the other thing. You remember, and I didn't like this even but a few years ago with basketball with Lonzo Ball. They don't like his daddy. So the whole league was like, oh, I'm going to really try to shut Lonzo Ball down because, we don't like his daddy, LeVar Ball. If that ain't the most bitch-made shit ever. And then Lonzo got hurt. And then LiAngelo got in trouble. And then when LaMelo came, it's like, for black people, y'all inner coon spirit comes out with shit like this. For white people, we already know y'all get down like this, and y'all just and it's crazy because I see white people trying to figure it out. Like, I just can't believe. No, I thought racism was gone. I mean, we had a black president. I mean, geez. I mean, Dr. Dre's a billionaire, and Oprah's a billionaire, and Diddy was a billionaire before we wanted to take him down. But blacks have money now. Like, Jesus, what's going on? It's like, bro, same shit, different day. This is where we have issues, like the quarterback thing. I ain't got to forget being the number one pick. If he would have won the second round, maybe in the third, wouldn't have been a big deal. But this shit, man, even people like Stephen A got to go, this looks bad for the league. This looks like collusion. It don't look like collusion. It is collusion. It only looked like collusion when it's black players. It's like, oh, okay. Y'all don't want to get out there and go, I don't like his daddy. Oh, his daddy's the reason I don't want him around me because I don't like his daddy. Because that shit sounds stupid. So let me run it down this way. The truth is, not a lot of teams needed quarterbacks this year. That's a true statement. Tennessee, they got that out the way. Giants, Jackson Dart, I don't care that people double back for quarterbacks, even if fine. That's not an issue to me. This is the issue. When the Saints did it, because if Derek Carr play good, it's not going to be a problem. But his shoulder's hurt and he got a contract situation going on. So if he don't play good or he get hurt during the season, all of New Orleans is going to be like, man, what Why? Y'all could have had Shador. The Steelers. The Steelers on that, hey man, Aaron Rodgers gave me a handshake, so we know he's coming to the team. Okay. But Aaron Rodgers still like 41, 42. And I ain't gonna lie, I love Aaron Rodgers as a player. But I'm not gonna lie, at the end of Aaron Rodgers' career, he's basically a mirror image of Brett Favre. So you should have got a backup. And that would have been Shador. Just being honest. Because you're going to need a quarterback. Because Aaron acting like he might sign late and he don't need, like, do he know that Aaron don't probably have a playbook, to be perfectly honest with you. Like he might show up, late July, early August. Okay, I'm ready to play now. He's done it before. And that's why the Jets lost last year. So it's like, okay, we playing this game. So if it goes bad in Pittsburgh, when you got George Pickens and DK Metcalf now, people gonna go, why didn't y'all get Shador? In all honesty. Now, I'm not gonna front the third round Caleb Johnson pick. I can't complain about that. The first round pick they had with the brother, I thought Shador would have probably went in that first round. But the brother they picked, I'm not saying nothing because he got drafted and his mama passed away. So I really hope the best for him. I really do. I hope he becomes a Pittsburgh staple. You know what I'm saying? I hope Cam Hayward take him under his wing and he becomes just as successful as Cameron Hayward. That's what I think. But if they have a quarterback issue, it's going to be a problem, though. It's going to be a problem. Honestly, I looked at the Jets kind of sideways because I'm like, I know you just got Justin Fields, but he's not known as a passer. So if the passer, if he running all day long with Bryce and what is it? I forgot the Brandon Allen. I think, is it Brandon or Brendan? Whatever. Braylon. That's what it is. You're gonna have an issue. So it's like, y'all gonna have an issue next year because if damn it, I forgot his name. If Justin Fields don't look like it ain't panning out early, it's gonna be an issue. Dead ass serious issue. He's not much of a passer though, Passport OG. And you got Garrett Wilson over there, and it's gonna be like, hey dog, it's gonna get ugly. You know what I'm saying? But then I thought, like, the Raiders, that's a good backup for Geno. They say they play similar, but the Raiders don't really got no receivers, in all honesty. They got Brock Bowers. I really like Ashton Genty. I really do. But they ain't got no damn receivers. They really don't. So, Seattle might have been a good thing. I'm glad they got Jalen Milroe, because they ain't got no receivers either. They got Jackson in Jagba. They got Jackson and Jagba, and Tyler Lockett and DK left. So, and you got a running back that's hurt a lot and a good running back right now. So it's like, okay, so what's going to wind up happening somewhere between 5, 6 weeks and next year, people gonna start looking at a few of these organizations like, yeah, this was a bad idea. I hate to say that because all of them ain't gonna get off to a good start. The Browns, I'm gonna be honest about this. The Browns usually do some janky shit. And I forgot they had Kenny Pickett. So shout out to Fantastic with all the brothers in the chat. But the Browns, so Deshaun Watson is still there. He took a pay cut. That's good. His career took a hit because of the whole, massage scandal. Which now, if you look at it, because I knew it was BS then, because I knew who he was dealing with, Tony Busby. So excuse me, y'all. Hold up. So, my bad. So because of Tony Busby going after now Shannon Sharp, Jay-Z, Diddy, I forgot, and somebody else. Right? That's what that's what I'm about to say, Dollar Wash. Um, it's making Deshaun Watson's situation with the masseuse thing look better and better because now it's like, oh, you really got jammed up by an ambulance chaser. So he's helping that situation. Deshaun Watson hasn't played good at all with Cleveland, but in all honesty, he ain't good at that. He wasn't good at that offense. Honestly, if they'd have kept him in something similar to what he was doing, he would have been better. But the other thing was last year he wasn't good because they ain't had Nick Chubb. He had, what I'm saying, they was doing good because they had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt 2 years ago when Deshaun got hurt and Joe Flacco got there. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt carried that damn team. But no Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt gone. What is it? Amari Cooper was gone. So that team was in Njoku got hurt. Yeah, that team was not good offensively at all. But now you got two running backs. So whatever quarterback get in this game, I promise you, with Judkins and who the hell the other running back is, because they both good. I think Judkins, it's not Tutton. I don't think it's Tutton. But I think Dylan Sampson, somebody like that. They got a good young running back group now. So they're going to get back to running the football. So they might start off, as long as they're running the football, the quarterback going to be in good position. But as far as the quarterbacks between Flacco, I don't think Flacco, I got all the respect in the world for Flacco. So, but I don't think he can finish the whole season right now. That's just my opinion. Kenny Pickens I think they relegated to the backup idea rather. And Dylan Gabriel, I think Shador might just beat Dylan Gabriel out. So by the season, because I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to be able to make the beginning of the season because he's still working on that Achilles. So the competition is going to really be between them four, and I would say Shador is probably the second best quarterback out of there because I give more leeway to Flacco right now. That's just how I look at it because Flacco knows offense. But he's probably going to wind up starting like Dollar Wash said about mid-season. And if they are even halfway decent, people gonna go, oh snap, because if Pittsburgh don't get Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna be a problem. And if Aaron Rodgers don't get to Pittsburgh early enough for them to actually do some damage, it's gonna be a problem. Because they're gonna expect him to win in Pittsburgh. Dead serious. So this is gonna be a interesting show. But so part of this is what's the real issue now? And for me, the real issue is this. Y'all need to stop. Like there are too many people in the world who like to be a hater in private, but the person that they hated on publicly has to deal with all of the backlash. And this ain't just a Shador thing. This is just you constantly see this. There's an anonymous somebody who got something to say, anonymous bunch of people who got something to say, and the only person who got to deal with the backlash of it is the person that it's Shador's fault. Shador ain't do nothing wrong. Y'all are just being haters, and this is a situation where you could actually call somebody a hater. You get what I'm saying? Then and all of these other folks out here making up stuff. I gotta make up something. I gotta put some. He's a distraction. No, he's not. He's not a distraction. You're scary. Y'all act like this boy was out here selling crack in the middle of the games. He had his hand up he had a nice watch on. He got jewelry. Your point? What is your point? Young rich kids have jewelry. What is your point? Y'all didn't have this much of an uproar when y'all knew Johnny Manziel was snorting cocaine off the Heisman Trophy, and y'all had it on camera. Y'all didn't have this much vitriol for anybody when what's your boy name? Baker Mayfield got into a damn police chase or bar fight or something before the draft. Y'all didn't have this kind of smoke for that. Y'all didn't have this type of issue. Honestly, with Larry Tunsil got caught with the bong right before the draft, which that was some stupid stuff. But yeah, it's so much shit that goes on, and it's like, oh, now y'all making up stuff. And it looks stupid now because you make the NFL look stupid now. So is this going to be a storyline? Absolutely. Absolutely it's going to be a storyline. Because no matter what you do, you sabotage his career for no reason. They put him, yeah. And the crazy part about it is, he gonna be forced to be if he gets on the field, he gotta play well, because you gonna go against Baltimore and Cincinnati. And let me say something about Cincinnati. I don't know why they didn't get a goddamn running back in this draft. And that's another part that I'm gonna talk about with this draft and the arrogance of it. This whole tiptoeing about not liking Shador and nobody wanting Shador because I don't like his daddy and he need to humble his black ass self because we need to put people in their place type shit. Y'all messed up the whole draft behind this shit. This ruined other people's draft. I was looking at it. I'm a person, I like watching the draft, but I usually I come in and come out of it because normally you have teams who have a great draft, and then you have teams who really missed the mark, and then you have teams who kind of hit and miss. In this draft, I'm looking and I'm like, yo, this whole Shador situation had people picking the wrong players over and over and over again. And what I mean by wrong players, once I knew something was wrong the minute Mason Graham got picked. I'm gonna just be honest with you. You laugh at this time, yeah. The minute Mason Graham got picked, I'm looking, I'm like, that's not, nah, bro. Not because I'm like, Mason Graham is not a pass rusher, he's a run stopper. So that's good against Baltimore, but that ain't gonna help against the Bengals. So I'm like, number 3 for a run stopper? I don't know about that one. Exactly. What perfect black. Thank you for saying it. The easiest way to get white men to expose their insecurities is to put them in a room with a braggadocious, confident black man. And the irony is, he ain't even braggadocious to me. He just like, I'm a winner and I'm gonna win. And that's it. If you don't want to win, don't pick me. And it's like, it's crazy, how you have, it don't make. I mean, this is insane. So the other part, like once the Mason Graham thing, I was like, no, this not gonna go well, because it kind of threw everything off. But I can't get mad at the Browns because the Browns did some dope shit this year. I think that the Mason Graham thing, but they got 2 running backs. The Dillon thing, their 4th round pick was cool too. And then they got Shador. That's a pretty good draft. You actually got 3 people that let's just say were top 40 players in the draft. You got 3 of them. Mason Graham, Shador, and Judkins. You got 3 of them. in the first, in your whole draft. So that's a dope draft. But what people mess this up is, I'm looking at the Bengals. You needed a running back. Y'all never replaced Joe Mixon. You didn't get that. I'm looking at the Raiders. Y'all needed a receiver. Y'all needed some receivers. It probably ain't the best receiver class, but you needed a receiver. You know what I'm saying? Y'all messed around and let the Bears load up on folks. The Bears got a cold tight end and a good slot receiver. And I'm like, y'all are stupid as a mother. Yeah, I could first round, cool. Second, even third, cool. Like Jalen Milroe might wind up starting in Seattle because, like I said, they only got one receiver, so they gonna need that quarterback gonna be running for his damn life. But now, my bad. So now you get in this situation where I don't think Cincinnati addressed a lot of defense because they need to beef up their defense. But with all these running backs in the draft, you could have stole one. You really could have stole one in a later round. But hey, that's just me. Because it's a heavy running back draft. I don't even think all the quarterbacks they got. Yeah. It's gonna get interesting, but let me get back to what I was about to. I saw the Texans. The Texans got a bunch of receivers because Tank Dell got hurt and Stephon Diggs went to the Patriots, and it's like, bro, y'all let the Patriots come up too. So the Patriots got the best tackle, the second best running back, and that's a running back that can actually catch the ball and pass protect and go off on long runs. He would have been the number one running back if Ashton Jeanty didn't have the year he had this year. I was like, okay, y'all keep playing. So the Cowboys needed a running back and maybe a receiver. They got a lineman. I ain't mad at that, but you should have got a running back in the second round, the third round, a receiver in the second round. But no, stupid stuff. But I ain't a Cowboys fan. The Packers fucked around and got Matthew Golden. I'm like, why? Why? Why would you get a Texas receiver for Green Bay? This is stupid. That's stupid. But hey, y'all didn't need a receiver. What y'all needed was it didn't make no sense. He's already second. Exactly. Shout out to his agent. And Ashton Jeanty, he worth it. I wish the best for him. But when I run the teams down, the Rams, oh, okay. Rams might have, like when the Falcons got them two pass rushers, I was like, oh Lord, y'all messed up. Y'all shouldn't have let the Falcons get two pass rushers. They needed that. Back to back. Then y'all let Baltimore get a safety and a pass rusher because this is what I mean by the Shador thing messed up the draft. By the second, third round, Shador wasn't the only top 40 player that didn't get picked. You get what I'm saying? Like Will Johnson, that took forever for Will Johnson to get picked. It took forever for Mike Green to get picked. So I'm looking, I'm like, bro, y'all really fucking up right now. Y'all really fucking up because I realized, somebody ran a 40 and now that's what y'all are going for. And we're going for the best player available. They wasn't doing that. They were just jumping over people and picking people that didn't need to be picked. What? Right. Don't make it. And I think the Eagles wound up getting a receiver later on. I'm like, for what? But that's just, I saw the Who is that? Who the hell was that? Who was that? Oh, when I saw the Broncos get a running back, I'm like, why y'all let them do that? Why y'all let them do that? Yeah, this whole situation got ridiculous, and this is that ego shit. You know, it's people like people's ego messed this up because it's gonna be for like if you don't get any superstars out of this draft, I think I think you're gonna get a few, but this gonna ever be marred as the draft that this gonna be the. Let me see, because I on Fantastic Panel I said, you know what, I ain't seen nothing this bad. No, they didn't. They didn't. The Browns got Junkins and the Patriots got Henderson. Who the fuck? I know. I want to say the Broncos got Sampson from Tennessee. But even because when the Giants got Cam Scatterboot, I was like, yo, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Say what you will, but that's a good pick for them. But this is gonna ever be the draft that people gonna go like, hey man, what you gonna remember the most? Them snubbing Shador, or because if Cam Ward don't do good, and I hate to say that, but Tennessee needed another damn receiver. In all honesty, you got Cam Ward, but the best thing Cam Ward got going for him, honestly, is the AFC South trash right now. You know, yeah. They got RJ Harvey. Yeah. Thank you. That's who went to Denver. It's gonna be the Jim Crow draft because you got in Tennessee, you got Calvin Ridley and what's your boy? Calvin Ridley and Tony Pollard is a best weapons on offense. That's and Spears, the backup running back. The receiver that they had that scored all them damn touchdowns went to Miami, which I think was dumb because he would have been a number 2 receiver. I don't know what he gonna be in Miami because you got Tyreek, then you got Jalen Waddle, bro. I don't know if you gonna. I mean, and they had a couple. They had Malik Washington last year, and he might be better than boy. It's gonna be a problem for him. But I don't expect much out of the Titans. That's what I'm saying. The Jaguars, don't expect much out of them. I really don't. Because unless Trevor Lawrence learned to throw the damn ball to Brian Thomas. Because the only reason Brian Thomas got off because Mac Jones was like, I'm giving Brian Thomas the ball. Because if Etienne don't do good and Lawrence don't do good, you know, they're gonna try to get what's your boy Travis Hunter killed, but Travis Hunter like 3 hours away from his family, so that's cool with him. It's bro. It's uncontrollable. You so right. It ruined the draft for years to come. Because next year, what they gonna do with Arch Manning? They're not gonna say we don't like Peyton and we don't like Eli and we don't like Archie. No, they're not gonna say that. You know, they're not gonna say that. Oh yeah, he was a hard worker to begin with, though. That's what killed me. It's like, man, y'all be making up stuff to make people look bad for no reason. No reason. And to me, it's like, it don't make sense. It really don't make sense. So it's like, okay, this is what we doing. Cause this how I knew something was up. I was a little bit nervous because if you haven't paid attention, okay, Travis Hunter went first, but they didn't start drafting. I don't think Colorado receivers until after fucking they got Shador. Cause I was about to say I thought they wasn't about to draft Jimmy Horn and the other brother, but both of the receivers wound up getting drafted, like fifth, sixth, seventh round. And then I was like, once I seen Shador go to the fifth round, I'm like, they not Shiloh ain't getting drafted. I can't get mad at that though. I can't get mad at Shiloh not getting drafted, but Shiloh's going. He just signed to Tampa Bay though. He going to Tampa Bay, so that's cool too. Yeah, the money ain't the issue. The money ain't the issue. What it is, like I said, I ain't seen something this bad happen. Like this is on par with Michael Sam. That's that. Like one of the brothers brought up Matt Barkley. Matt Barkley dropped to the fourth round, when as a quarterback, and that didn't make sense. But nobody was saying the things that they were saying now. You get what I'm saying? Matt Barkley, that was weird. I ain't gonna front. That was weird. But I look at this like Michael Sam, like, oh, Michael Sam was a good player until they found out he was kissing other dudes, and then his stock dropped immediately. But now with Shador, it's just like, what's your real issue with Shador? That's what I'm saying. Stay in your place. Because I'm not tripping that the New York Giants didn't pick Shador. That's not my business. But I know one thing. When I saw what the New York Giants did, I thought they was dumb. Because, I mean, you get Abdul Carter, but you already got Brian Burns, and you got Kayvon Thibodeau, and you get Abdul Carter. I don't know what you're trying to do now. I really have no idea. I really have no idea what you're trying to do now. Shit, I'm born in New Orleans. I know the Saints was pissed. But then, nothing, and then you get Jackson Dart, and I'm like, bro, you about to. First of all, the GM for the Giants should have been fired the minute that Saquon ass went over 2,000 yards. The minute that Saquon went to Philadelphia, he should have been fired. In all honesty, the minute they got that they paid Daniel Jones over Saquon, he should have been fired. But I'm not gonna lie, from last year, I like Theo Johnson as a tight end. I think that's gonna work out good. Malik Neighbors, I like, but they should have got another receiver. In all honesty, but do I think Jackson Dart gonna see the field? Nope. I think they're gonna run the ball with Cam Scatterboot and Tracy. Yeah, the panel was crazy. I was crazy too, so I can't say nothing, fam. But you know what? Speaking of that, this is what I have an issue with our people as black people. We have some people really have this slave mentality of, well, the white people don't like them, we're gonna make up reasons to not like them too. I heard the boy eat grits. And real, white people don't like black people that eat grits, so he shouldn't be. It's his fault. I heard do you remember last year they said the same shit about Keon Coleman? Something was wrong with him because he was eating fruit snacks. He was eating fruit snacks. He's disrespectful. It's like, all these coaches fat as fuck. They eat all the time. All the time, like. But we have that issue. Like you got so many black people. I don't like Dion. Why you don't like Dion? What's the real reason you don't like Dion? Who the fuck don't like Deion Sanders? Who like what has y'all act like Deion Sanders is motherfucking fuck who y'all act like he the Unabomber or something now. Like y'all tripping. You know, it's the same. I brought that up earlier, fam. It's just making stuff up. You know, now we don't like Dion, and now we don't like Shador. You know, like Jackson State don't like Dion. No, Jackson State don't like the Jackson State don't like the fact that they got caught stealing money. That's what they don't like. And and you know what? A Jackson State player got drafted this year, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's a problem. You know, we don't like Dion. We don't like Shador. What did Shador do? What did Dion do? Well, he's we don't like his chain and we don't like his jewelry. Really, nigga? Really? Oh, okay. Should he walk around with a Blue Lives Matter a Blue Lives Matter hat on like half of you coon ass niggas who white people see? I love you too. Blue Lives Matter. Should he do that? You know, you would have liked Shador if he'd have said, you know what, it's the black culture. It's black people's culture is why, you know, you know, it's the black culture. We're 13% of the population, but 50% of the murders is. Oh, I love. He's gonna be an inspiration to America. That's what he should have said. You know. Exactly. That's why Fantastic was bringing that up about Johnny Manziel and all of that. It don't make sense. You know, a lot of y'all made this about shit that it had nothing to do with. You know. First, y'all don't want First, y'all got to issue, and this is the hypocritical stuff. Man, these black men aren't there for their kids, and these kids, and they're raised by these single mothers, and they need a strong black father. What happens when their father's in their life? Oh, father happened to be the coach too. Now we got a problem. We don't want to see a black kid coming from a rich black family, doing rich shit, about to make more money and make the family richer. Oh my God. We need him to be quiet, keep his mouth shut, you know. But he had to show up on campus, and he had to have a luxury car. Who that quarterback on that nag? How come he can't humble himself? Y'all been saying this humble shit. I've been hearing this humble himself shit my whole fucking life. Muhammad Ali needs to humble himself. Fuck. Look, Floyd Mayweather needs to humble himself. Yeah, we heard it before. You know, who else talked that y'all didn't like? It was niggas that didn't talk that y'all, you know. Y'all feel like Michael Jordan needed to humble himself. Kobe needed, you know, that's why Kobe got lied on. He got Me Too before Me Too because he had to humble himself. You know, he got to humble himself. What you know, is white people around. Put your head down and say, you know, white people, you are so great. I am not great. Y'all fucking turning to y'all turning to Danny Glover and Color Purple every time you see somebody black. That's what, humble yourself because you're black and you're ugly and you're a quarterback and don't nobody ever want you. Don't nobody want you like I want you. You gonna be here forever. Like what are y'all talking about? Like what are y'all really doing out here? And some of y'all are parents out here. You telling Shador Sanders some shit you wouldn't even tell your own goddamn kid. Yeah, this is what I need you to do. I need you to humble yourself. I need you to walk in there, you know, and grovel on the floor. He went to an interview and he did bad. Nigga, shut up. He went to an interview and he did bad. You talking about the same? Since we gonna go there, you talking about the same NFL that that asked Dennis Bryant was his mama a prostitute in the interview, but the interview went bad with Shador. That's the NFL we talking about, right? That's the one we talking about. We talking about the same NFL that didn't like Deshaun Jackson daddy. You know, that's the same NFL we talking about, right? We forget about shit like that, huh? We talking about the same NFL. You know. Whoa, Carlos. Yeah. Let's do this. That's the same NFL that said Russell Wilson was crazy because he was delusional because he believed in himself. People forget that about everybody in the beginning. Russell is. We think it's fake by the way he believes in himself. We don't think it. I mean, sometimes he's talking, he's confident, but we just don't believe it from him. We think he's crazy. We think he's crazy. It's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Caleb, yeah. Caleb was an interesting one. Because I mean, I don't think Caleb had a bad year last year. I honestly don't. For a rookie quarterback, 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, they had a problem with Cam's dad. I can't believe it. They lied and said he was taking money. And 20 years later, okay. People have a problem with black dads. Shit, they had a problem with James Evans, and he wasn't even real. Shit, they're having a problem with black dads. And, if James Evans, we got to kill him. He on TV. Fucking Bill Cosby. Oh, it can't be real. It can't be real. To have two successful parents, you can't be real. Not if you're black. Here we go. Every black dad, whether it's real or on TV, is an issue. Uncle Phil was a goddamn problem. Carl Winslow was a goddamn problem. Now I think about it. I already said Lonzo Ball was definitely a problem. and oh boy. Ooh, I was about to be trifling. I was about to be cold-blooded. Like, y'all got to pray for me because I was about to do it. Truth be told, since I'm gonna go there, fuck it. Let's do it. They don't even like Denzel's son when he was acting. They felt like he was getting too much too fast. That was an issue. Truth be told, Denzel's son being an actor was a little bit of an issue. As a matter of fact, Master P taking care of his son was an issue. Since we're gonna go there, let's go there. Not too long ago, they felt like they snubbed Joey Porter's son. Wasn't a real reason, but it is what it is. But it was like, yeah, here we go with that bullshit. They snubbed. Oh man, I forgot the linebacker. The Eagles, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. They felt like they snubbed his son. I think it was last year, 2 years ago. Pat Surtain's son, no, that was dope. They did him right. Yeah, I mean, people got issues with that. When people want to do something productive with their life, all of a sudden it's a damn problem. And nobody wants to address the major issue. You're paying people to do this whole shit. When you got Skip Bayless, let me tell you, this is how I know, because Skip Bayless and other white folks, when I hear them stutter, it's a race issue. when I hit him, go, I don't understand. Like I just can't wrap my head around what's going on. I just don't get it because they like it's a race issue. It's a race issue because it don't fucking make sense. And I know, you could, like a brother said earlier, 70% of the league is black, and 70% of the bad stories about players. Well, I take it back. 80% of the bad stories about players is black. You don't hear bad stories about white folks. I remember, you know how many scandals get overlooked with white people in football? You know how many red flags get overlooked by white people in football? Shit. I forgot the white dude in basketball. They act like he could, he was dating an underage girl. That shit went. That shit came and went. It came and went. What was not a big deal. You get what I'm saying? Brett Favre had numerous scandals. The reporter was a scandal. The 50-11 retirements was a scandal. The getting in a car, the being, I think he got drunk and got in a car wreck and didn't make the team picture in Atlanta. That was a scandal. He was on one. All the way fast forward to the whole Mississippi thing. Scandal. But it's multiple scandals, but none of them a big deal. None of them really a big deal. And those are legitimate scandals. Yeah, Skip Bayless scandal. We just, it's not Skip Bayless scandal. Shannon Sharp scandal gonna outweigh Skip Bayless scandal. You change the color, you change the amount of the scandal. That's what this is. That's what this is. Because oh man. Shit. Y'all remember when the Dolphins coach got caught with the strippers and the cocaine? Came and went. It's not a big deal. But I'm about to be trifling when I said this too. I just thought about that. Oh, it's about to be trifling. A lot of times, these scandals are out of pocket because it just don't make sense. I remember, I remember when Sam Hurd got arrested for selling drugs, and then Matt Jones got arrested for selling drugs and really didn't get no time, if I'm not mistaken. When it, like Ryan Mallett, that was he had a whole bunch of scandals or whatever. It's okay though. It's not like Ryan Mallett, his scandals shortened his career. His truth be told, if I'm not mistaken, the coach right now for Miami, Mike McDaniels, had he was drinking or high or something like that. He had issues years ago when he was younger, and then wound up becoming the youngest head coach in the NFL. He went from a scandal to, being kind of pushed to the side to he got a job now. That's how that shit go. It's weird, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is, like this is, ironically to me, this is up there with Colin Kaepernick. This is up there with Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. The difference is there was no like American issue. This is just and I'm saying it because this is kind of like what's the white kid? What's the white kid at Duke? Because he should be like probably the number one pick in the draft this year. Cooper, is it Cooper Flag? I want to say Cooper Flag. This would be like Cooper Flag getting drafted at the end of the second round in the NBA draft. This what that would like Cooper Flag going, 57th in the NBA draft now. I just out of the blue. People be like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on now? Like, what just happened? What we missing right now? It wouldn't make no sense. It just wouldn't make no sense. That's where we have issues. Like, ain't nobody, like, people slide in the draft all the time. Aaron Rodgers slid in the draft. He said he could fall about sixes. Yeah. He'd be the next Ben Simmons. No, just fucking around. It sound like a DC kid. Yeah, but hey, he could hoop though. How about he's just not as talented as y'all think? How about we just say the truth? You're full of shit. How about that? How about we stop tiptoeing over the fact that motherfuckers be playing bitch ass games and they try to make these hoe ass excuses? Because I'm not a believer that being a bitch made motherfucker is a good excuse to fuck somebody over. How about that? How about that one? He's not as good as you say. He ain't that goddamn bad either. The fuck are y'all talking about? Don't make me start saying some real shit to you. Because if he's average, I'm sorry. He must be great out of college like Daniel Jones was. He has to be that great, right? He has to be great out of college like Ryan Leaf. He has to be great. He has to be great out of college like Tim Tebow was great out of college, right? Oh God, he was great, guy. Great. The fuck you talking about? How many motherfuckers the NFL drafted that they on that doing this dumb shit? We talking about a boy. Y'all niggas so full of shit. Yeah. Craig Hodges got black ball. Yep. It just don't. A lot of this shit is not gonna make sense. It's never gonna make sense. He's not good. Yeah, you're right, dog. He's not on the what is old boy name? He's not on the level of Tyler Shaw. Yeah, you're right. Shador is not on the level of Tyler Shaw. God damn. He's not as good as Tyler Shaw. What the fuck? Fuck out of here. And he's not a fifth round actual pick by his play either. But that shit don't count, right? Y'all niggas be on that dumb shit. Bruh, I look, trust me, I know the Saints fans gonna be. I already know. I as a Saints fan, I already know it's gonna be a problem next year. You gotta. Is it? But he ain't that good. Oh my! Like, it don't matter, bro. Like, as a football fan, I get it. It's some shit that I wouldn't like. Let me say this. I'm gonna show you how fucked up the NFL is. There is no reason that Kirk Cousins is one of the richest players all time in NFL history. He interviewed bad. Yeah, I know. He interviewed bad. He went to an interview that nobody knows about, and nobody knows what he said, and nobody. Yeah, we're gonna believe that because every year there's a bullshit story like that, and we're gonna believe it every year. Yeah, he interviewed Pat. Yeah, he was like Keon Coleman, and he went to the interview and he asked for some fruit snacks, and it was disrespectful. Yeah, he went to the interview, and they didn't like his demeanor. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. It was. He walked in, had amazing contracts. He played well. Nah, Kirk Cousins. He see. You see how they switch? See how motherfuckers switch up when people white? Is no reason that motherfucker should be like the third or fourth. Maybe is he fifth all time in money? There is no reason Kirk Cousins should be that. I ain't mad at Kirk Cousins by no means though. No means. I'm not mad at Kirk Cousins by no means. But when you're white, boy, you get away with a lot of. It's a lot of shit, I mean, Derek Carr. I'm not gonna say Derek Carr was overrated. I'm gonna say they fucked him up because they ain't get a line for him. They killed his career. Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen. Oh my God. It was Mitchell Trubisky. Remember that draft? Mitchell Trubisky. It was Mitchell Trubisky, Deshaun Watson. I think Daniel Jones was in that goddamn draft, if I'm not mistaken. Zach Wilson, that was a whole nother one. Oh my goodness. Who is it? Patrick Mahomes was in that goddamn draft. He played the political game. There we go, buddy. You're right. That's right. When we're doing things about a meritocracy is how you play the political game. Yeah, man. And then he was at the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention, and he did the political game so well, so fucking well, man. And that's what made it happen, man. Mike, I ain't gonna front. Mike Vick brother fucked himself over when he stepped on that kid's head, just like LeGarrette Blount when he punched the old boy in the face. That's yeah, I remember that. This you just making up shit. Now he played the politics game, man. That's right, man. He's a fucking senator now. What the fuck? It's political. It's a game of contracts. It's funny. No, motherfucker. It's a game of when black people say pay me, it's a problem. When white people say overpay me, it's not a problem. That's what the fucking political game is in the NFL. The fuck are you talking about? They overpay white guys all the fucking time in the NFL. They underplay their black players. That's normal. Here we go. Oh my God, here we go. Bitch, shut up. Your name is Samurai Will. You stupid. He's a rich snob brat. Nigga, do you know how many rich snob brats is in the fucking NFL right now? You don't, do you? Niggas lie like y'all kill me with this whole shit. You know who else is a rich snob brat? Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, LiAngelo Ball. They was rich snob brats too. That didn't stop nothing. No, it was a rich snob brat, Eli Manning. That didn't stop nothing. The fuck is you talking about? The Bosa's. Oh, they from jump they were talking about the Bosa's was a bunch of racist ass kids. Did that stop anything? No. I think Nick more than Joey though. Even Aaron Rodgers getting his. It ain't fucking karma, bitch, nigga. What karma did Shakur? What did Shador do for karma? What? And the reason I'm gonna call you a bitch, nigga, when I say this because you can't say Shador did anything. It's not karma for Shador. That's a problem. And that's why I'm acting the way I'm acting, because y'all so bitch made, y'all just to say anything nowadays. What's Shador's karma? Nothing. We're mad at Shador because of what? He threw a lineman under the bus. Bitch, he bought a lineman a Mercedes Benz. Forgot about that part? He threw a lineman under the bus. Is that the same one that he bought the Benz for? Forget about that, because that shit happened this year too. So what's his karma for buying his lineman? Because he was buying his lineman shit most of the year, ironically, because he was spending his NIL money on his fucking line. Did you forget that part? But let me guess, white people said, he's a bad character guy because of that. You could see the shit because they had the shit on video. Did you forget about that part? Or did you not look at that part? Or did the white people tell you don't look at that? And I don't remember that because the white people didn't tell me that was happening. I didn't see that because I wasn't looking for it. The fuck are you talking about? I'll beat your motherfucking ass. You say some whole ass shit to me like that again, you bitch made motherfucker. You sellout ass niggas always on some hoe shit. That's the problem. You ever thought about you being a brat? But when I said a fact, you couldn't say that then. You couldn't dispute a fact though. You couldn't dispute his line. You couldn't dispute the karma. You couldn't dispute that. You couldn't dispute taking care of people. You couldn't dispute that. You lucky. And I'm sparring tomorrow, actually. You lucky I don't know you. I would dog walk your ass for that comment. But here we go, man. Who that nigga on that? Who that quarterback on that nag? What the white people say? The white people said it, so it got to be true. Yeah, it got to be true. Fuck. I'm just waiting. Jason Whitlock gonna come out. Yeah, because I don't like Dion. So and let me rewind this. Let me say this. This is why I say it's part of a racial thing. White people have a history of fucking with black people kids because they scared to fuck with the black parents. This is what this plays into. And everybody knows this. This is a normal thing with white America. Hold up. Cam got 8 kids, right? You don't think his kids spoiled? That's what you telling me? Because if Cam say he's spoiled, he got to be spoiled. Because Cam said he's spoiled. Did Dion say he's spoiled? Did L.A.R say he's spoiled? Did Bucky say he's spoiled? Did Shiloh say he's spoiled? Did his grandmama say he's spoiled? See what I'm saying? Like y'all niggas, boy, y'all niggas tripping. Why do he don't, nigga? Because his dad probably knows the business well enough to know he don't need an agent. What does he really need an agent for, Whoop? And I actually know an agent. Very good agent, very well-known agent that's done a lot, that's active today. He didn't need an agent because his dad knows the fucking game. Even with the contracts, he doesn't need it. His brother doesn't need an agent. There's a lot of players who don't use an agent, man. Agents are cool, but when you do the projection shit, you don't really need the way it's projected. Say if you're a first round pick, you pretty much know what you're gonna get. You don't need an agent for that. You don't need an agent for that. There are players who've like off the top of my head, because there's players right now that don't have agents and didn't have agents last year, actually. But like one of the best players I could think about off the top of my head that never had an agent was Ed Reed. Ed Reed never had an agent. You know, matter of fact, that same agent shit came up with Lamar Jackson because they wanted to force his ass to get an agent because they didn't want to deal with him and his mama. Like the agent thing is not really it's not necessarily for football anymore. You get what I'm saying? The agents now, they're really like some of these players are really trying to get other people in the door to be agents now. You know, yeah, like that's why you see for the last like 4 or 5 years you've seen a lot of black female agents because brothers are trying to get black females into the door as agents, in that position. But in general, like the agents they're not what they used to be. You get what I'm saying? It's not what it used to be because they said they're making the market like a mandatory thing now. So it's not for the as for the big players as it is for the smaller players. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was talking about Kirk Cousins, like Kirk Cousins' agent he's an agent because he got Kirk Cousins a shitload of money. But Kirk Cousins was never at the top of the hill. You get what I'm saying? Oh, actually, it don't involve. No. Ed Reed didn't have an agent when he came out of college. Ed Reed, when I said never had an agent, yeah, he didn't have an agent when he came out of college. Like I said, I don't think Lamar Jackson didn't have an agent. That was part of the reason they was calling him stupid. But you don't need a. Do you really like? Here's where the parenting thing goes. One of the reasons that they don't like Dion because Dion is like he's light years ahead in marketing. So when it says all aspects of the NFL that don't actually involve playing football, that's Dion. That's Dion's wheelhouse. That's Prime's wheelhouse. The NFL, you're right. You're right. You absolutely right with that. But the problem is, just like basketball, when you do shit like this, you kill the product. You get what I'm saying? It ain't just about it ain't just about Shador. It's this type of shit kills the product. Like that's what in a long-term sense, that's what becomes a problem. When you kill a product, when you have general managers, presidents of teams doing shit like this, it becomes, they become the distraction. They try to say the player's the distraction, but in all honesty, when you deal with GMs, let's just say GMs, presidents, sometimes coaches, when you do shit like this, scouts, you become the distraction. So now you're more of a problem than the players, because you're trying to put out that the players are a problem, and then it winds up being you. This is just it's a very egregious act at this particular point, because for every sports fan, especially like we're talking about football, but for every football fan, 9 times out of 10, the reason that your team sucks is because the general manager is an asshole. 9 times out of 10. The general manager don't know talent, and they do sucker shit like this, and then you wind up not having good players. And when you have good players, they run them. The organization runs them off to another team, and then you watch a bunch of people that was on your team actually good on other teams, and you start looking at them sideways. This is no different from, you remember when the Jacksonville Jaguars had all them players? You remember when they had Calais Campbell, AJ Bowie, Jalen Ramsey, Allen Robinson. I forgot the other receiver name because he went to Dallas. Leonard Fournette. You know what happened was the organization didn't like those type of people, and then they got rid of everybody, and then the Jaguars just went to the tank. You get what I'm saying? It's that type of shit. It's Shador is just the face of it right now because there was some dumb shit to do. It was some dumb shit to do. Shit. I'm gonna be at the where we at tomorrow? Where we at? We at the Fitness Connection in Katy off of Mason. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I-10 in Mason. 10 o'clock. 10 a.m. Yeah, you ain't. I'll see you if you can. I'll see you there if you can make it. Talking all that shit you talking, we could definitely get at it. You know. But it's that. Like, that's the thing. That's what I talked about with Saquon. It's that. Who else did that shit? Like when you brought up the Falcons, you know, because they was tripping on the Falcons last year with the Kirk Cousins and the Penix thing. And I was like, yeah, it actually worked out, but it made sense. Who we talking about? Who else was it? Who else? That's the thing. Remember, that's why they talked about the Eagles the way they talk about the Eagles, because the Eagles stopped getting out of the Eagles' way. And that's how they got all these good teams. That's how they've been winning recently, because they were doing shit like, we just need the best player available. We just need the best players available for what we need. This is why people don't like the Cowboys, and the Dallas fans always getting pissed, because the Cowboys have this thing where what? They say the Cowboys never win because of Jerry Jones's ego. So when you put that in this draft, you put that on an NFL stage, you're messing up the whole product of the NFL because of your ego. And don't get it twisted. They're gonna do this shit over and over and over again. This ain't gonna be the only year some shit like this happen now, because just, you know, this is America. This is how life works. They're gonna continuously do this now, because, hey man, since we did it once, it's not a big deal. And what you're gonna wind up happening is, you know, they gonna play this Tom Brady game where Tom Brady was in the 6th round. It's like, okay, all right. And what's gonna wind up happening is people gonna get fired because of it. Because and I'm gonna use this as an example, even using Brady. They used to say Bill Belichick, you know, how can I say this? Bill Belichick drafted a lot of good people in his tenure, but when he started getting cocky, his selection started going down. Because he was known for, I'm gonna get rid of him a year or 2 years prior to when I need to get rid of him. And it was like, okay, all right. So now we got an issue. That's what I'm saying. It's a great product, but this is what's going on with basketball right now. And as a football fan, that's a problem. When people go, oh, okay, I could do whatever I want, it really don't matter. And it's like, okay, this is gonna affect the field. This affects what goes on. And the reason behind why this is a problem is the issue, because it's really a dumbass reason. Like, what you're telling people is, I'm willing to throw the league under the bus if I don't like your daddy. That don't make no fucking sense. That don't make no fucking sense. So now now we active. And what we gonna do? You know, that you know what, frame runner, that's I appreciate you saying that. This is like right now, people don't like NIL. They don't like NIL now, but and they don't like people to transfer portal and people transferring, and it is fucking up the game, right? Why is it fucking up the game? Because these schools and these coaches' egos got in the way. They had been running rampant doing dumb shit since I was a teenager. That's how, like, this is how, when I was a teenager, you had Notre Dame, Florida State, Nebraska, Florida, Georgia had a moment, like Texas A&M had a moment. You had USC, Penn State. You know, it wasn't really as they say, Power 5 conference. It really wasn't Power 5 conference. It was like a few schools holding up all the college. Yeah, Miami. But what wound up happening was people started going like, hey man, listen, you're not good enough for our program. You're not good enough for our school. You're not good enough to be on this level. And what wound up happening was people started going to all of these other different schools. And that's how you got what they call the parity that they talk about now. This is why people started whipping people's ass now. So some of the schools that was good 25 years ago in college, they're not good now because of the arrogance. That's what happened. As long as there's no competition, it ain't just the NFL, but I get what you're saying. You know, you know what? Let watch this. You know what's interesting about Russell Wilson's situation? It ain't that different from Shador's. You know why? Because when Russell went to Denver, he sucked his first year. He didn't do it. It didn't go well his first year. His second year in Denver, he balled out. And he balled out in Denver, and Sean Payton benched him because he didn't want to make the playoffs because of Sean Payton's ego. And then they got Bo Nix and all of that other shit. But here's so Russell was in Pittsburgh last year, but when we play this narrative, we act like Russell he fell off. He fell off 1 year. The next year he had like 3,500 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, and like 8 interceptions or some shit. And people was like, he's lost a step. No, he didn't lose a step. They just didn't want him. That's what that was. They didn't want him. And they do that to players all the time. There's plenty of players who actually are balling out, but they act like they're not balling out. And people run with the narrative. I don't like that shit though. I just don't like that shit. You know. Let me fast forward it. But that's what I mean about like the NIL stuff now. People are mad, you know. They mad at all these players going to these schools and switching out of schools. The reason why they're doing that is because these coaches, really not the schools per se, but the coaches the coaches are full of shit. The coaches wasn't loyal. The coaches was using these guys. You know, y'all don't remember. Let me run this by. For all you football fans, I was gonna use Corey Dillon as an example, but I'm not. Let me ask y'all a question. How often do you see Tom Brady bigging up Michigan? Think about that. Because we say Tom Brady's the GOAT, but how often do you see Tom Brady bigging up the University of Michigan? That legitimate question. Do people know? Should we tell the people why, Tony? Because they treated him like shit when he was at Michigan. they treated him like he was like you all right. Now when he started balling in the NFL, like you really don't, people don't put two and two together. You know, that it's the same thing. Like Kirby Smart, Dabo Sweeney, people, they go on this little run, they stop. So the players have figured out that's why Nick Saban retired, because he said, man, I can't deal with these new players, because now they coming up like how much money I'm getting, and it's like, hey dog, y'all created this monster, now you don't want to deal with it. So that's the college part, but they brought that to, that's how the NFL wasn't supposed to be that. Now they made the NFL that. Oh yeah, I remember Tommy Frazier railroaded Tommy Frazier. They thought Tommy Frazier couldn't throw a football, and they found out that motherfucker had an arm like a cannon, and then it was like, oh, he throw too hard. Like, we don't think he could throw the football. That motherfucker he had an arm like shit. He had a cannon, dog, like a cannon. I'm trying to figure like who could, how strong can I say his arm was? Like because he was throwing the ball hard as shit. Like just like we talk about Michael Vick. Like Michael Vick didn't have no touch. He was throwing fastballs all the time. Tommy Frazier had a cannon. You know what I'm saying? You hear about save money to build. I'm not surprised, fam. I'm not surprised. You know, Brett Favre, he had as a football fan, man, I'll say this. With Brett Favre was the last quarterback I saw in my lifetime who actually got a chance to fuck up at quarterback until he was great. Like he was the last one. Like they didn't, like, cause the shit Brett Favre did when he first got to Green Bay, they would have never let that nigga play. Then 5 years after that, they never let somebody do that. Matter, let me tell you who Brett Favre was when he went to Green Bay. He was fucking Rex Grossman. That's who he was. He was Rex Grossman. He was gonna just drop back and just launch that bitch. And if he got blitz, he would just throw it high in the air and just hope somebody come down with it. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to put sauce on it. He was Rex Grossman. And then he started being a more accurate passer. And when he became accurate, he was deadly. You know. Yeah, but it's looked at different because Ryan Fitzpatrick was always looked at as a backup, so they expect him to start out hot and be cold. But Britt, oh man, because that whole gunslinger thing, Britt was the last person that could be a gunslinger and get looked at positively, because they say Jay Cutler was a gunslinger. They looked at him like he was stupid. I was like, man, this fool just throwing the ball any goddamn well. Just anywhere, they started looking at it differently because it wasn't that. But shit, man, but it's 11 o'clock, man. Let me go ahead and go to bed, man. I don't like. I just don't. This whole situation is a mess. Yeah, they definitely deserve to get paid. Too many coaches are overpaid because of college students. Like, how many times have you seen a college athlete, and especially in football, especially in college football, because when you're in college and you're a college athlete, you don't have a full scholarship. You have a 1-year scholarship every year. You get what I'm saying? You have a 1 year every year. 1 year every year. So what happens is you get put in that mold where if you get hurt, you might be out of there. You've seen people plenty of times in college football who are top prospects, first round, second round prospects, and they got hurt, and then the college just dumped their ass. They just dump them. Cause man, he was cool, but he hurt now. Fuck him. You get what I'm saying? That's how that goes, man, and it sucks. So yeah, they should be getting paid, but this situation is just one of those things where he's a quarterback, and it doesn't fit all of the it doesn't fit all of the rules for a quarterback. And he's a black quarterback, and he's a black quarterback that's pretty known, and he's a black quarterback that's produced. It don't make it started to not this just doesn't make sense. Right. The Fab Five made Michigan money. Man, it's a lot of people. It's not, you know what I'm saying? People don't realize in that Fab Five era, people sold a lot of jerseys. I remember Leon Johnson sold a lot of jerseys for North Carolina, because a lot of y'all don't even know who Leon Johnson was. Natron Means was selling jerseys for North Carolina. That was football jerseys. Danny Werfel was selling jerseys like crazy back then. At Florida, I forgot who the quarterback was. At UNLV was selling merch like a motherfucker. Georgetown was selling merch like a mug. People were like, these players was putting these schools on a map. Like, y'all don't realize how Memphis came out of nowhere. Like, didn't nobody care about Memphis until Penny Hardaway, and then Penny Hardaway went to Memphis, and then fast forward a little bit, then you got then Isaac Bruce went to Memphis, it wasn't relevant. D'Angelo Williams went there, it started coming up, and then D Rose was there. Like these young men was making putting these schools on the map. Michigan State, y'all ain't think nothing about Michigan State. Y'all don't realize, I say Andre Rison put Michigan State on the map. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that. Man, appreciate you, fam. Like, I forgot about this now that I think about it. So they used to have a camp. They have, how they had the college camps. So I wound up, when I was in high school, we went to the camp with Michigan. And this was the year where Charles Woodson was still there. I want to say Charles Woodson, Timbiaka Batuka. I know Brady. I think Brady was there then. Charlie Ward work done. But them dudes was balling. They was having Corvettes and Land Rovers and shit. We was at Michigan. He was like, where y'all get this money from? And they was like, hey, well, my mama and them. we was laughing like a bug out there. But it's these schools make too much money. Like we on YouTube, fam. When you look at these colleges and look at the football, especially the football locker rooms, when they say the new facilities, they say the $100 million facility. Where you think they're getting this money from? Off of these players. These TV deals. How can you afford a $50 million, $100 million, a $200 million sports facility at a college if you ain't getting paid off of these? If you ain't making hundreds of millions and billions of dollars off of these quote unquote college athletes, it don't make no damn sense. It don't add up. You gotta start paying these cats now, because this shit is out of pocket. They was paying them under the table any goddamn ways. But you gotta reach a certain level of ticket sales to get that kind of money. But yeah, man, it's crazy. You remember why they didn't want Charlie Ward in the NFL? Because he was a black quarterback. It was still that time. That's why he went to the damn NBA. And Charlie Ward, it's messed up. Like that whole era, that early to mid '90s era. Honestly, it's the cause of all of this, because people don't realize from like the late '80s to the mid '90s, no, the early '80s actually to the mid '90s. You had a bunch of athletes that played a bunch of sports. It wasn't just people forget. People. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson was football and baseball. That was the same thing with Deion Sanders. But Brian Jordan, it was the same thing. And people forget, like Frank Thomas was actually a football player. He just chose to play baseball. Dave Winfield was a football player. He chose to play baseball. Ronaldo Nehemiah was like an Olympian who started playing football. Willie Gault was an Olympian. Was a football player who was an Olympian also. The thing with like Charlie Ward, he was like the last of it. You know what I'm saying? They at a certain point they stopped letting athletes play multiple sports in college, unless you was a pitcher. That's why you see like people like Jameis Winston played baseball I think AJ Brown played baseball. But I don't know if he played it in college though, because he was a dope baseball player. So you got out of that era, because people was good at multiple sports back in the day, man. It was crazy. Like Julius Peppers. Julius Peppers wasn't an NBA caliber player, but that's why you get that. As a matter of fact, I was about to say Marvin Harrison. In all honesty, Marvin Harrison could have been a hooper. Truth be told, you know what I'm saying? Marvin Harrison could have been a hooper. Like it's a them days is over, and one of the reasons them days is over, even kind of think right now with like Travis Hunter, and can he play receiving, cornerback? He could. If he played the shit in college, he could play the shit in the pros. It's gonna be difficult, but he can do it. You know what I'm saying? It'll be difficult. That's not a lie. It'll be difficult for sure, but it's possible. Because it's not like basketball where it's constant. He's not gonna be on offense running. They're not gonna be on offense running no huddle, and he be on defense defending no huddle. That's not gonna happen unless it's like a 2-minute drill. You know what I'm saying? Unless somebody gets in a shootout in the fourth quarter, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, like it's difficult. It's difficult nowadays. Like people don't realize one of the reasons for all of this stuff from the NFL, NBA, all that is the marketing part of it, and that's what I was trying to, like, the marketing part. Like Deion being a 2-sport athlete, that was a hell of a marketing ploy. Bo was a hell of a marketing ploy. It was so inspiring. That's part of the reason why y'all seen Michael Jordan try to play baseball. Because people were doing a lot of things, but it was great for marketing. A lot of this stuff people don't realize it, but I would say the 80s and 90s athletes did so much for the game that they don't want them kind of guys again. And it might sound weird, but they don't want those kind of guys again. They don't want the type of people who can actually like really move the needle in society. They don't want that. As much as we say, oh man, they don't want the athletes that are actually deserving of shoe deals. They don't want the athletes who actually are deserving of making a movie about. They don't want that shit no more. They don't want somebody who's quote unquote bigger than the game. They don't like that. Kenny Lofton was dope. Ricky Henderson, like people don't realize nowadays, man. It ain't what it. we're gonna have to go back to how it used to be, because if we don't, um, man, it's gonna be a problem, because none of these sports are gonna be good anymore. Same thing with the NFL. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why the NFL is starting to suck, honestly, is because you're trying to take defense out the game. It's gonna turn into the NBA. There's no defense in the NBA, so it's not worth watching. And you're doing the same shit with football. There's no defense in the NFL, so it's not worth watching. Like, I'm gonna get on a kick when I actually got to talk about, like, I can't respect the Hall of Fame right now. Because the Hall of Fame is still not getting it right. They finally got Sterling Sharp in there, but like Jim Plunkett ain't in the Hall of Fame. That's stupid that he not in the Hall of Fame. His coach Flores not in the Hall of Fame. That's stupid. You get what I'm saying? Like who can I say that should be in the Hall of Fame right now? London Fletcher should be in the Hall of Fame, in all honesty. You know what I'm saying? But they're fucking up the game because they're not giving people credit when they're supposed to. Like T.O. got to the Hall of Fame, but it was a dumb. They played him. They played him like he sideways. Some of the actually old linemen deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but they fucking it up. They fucking it up. There are certain people that I think Jeff Saturday should be in the Hall of Fame. Was it not Frank? Is it Frank Rivers? Frank Winters. People like that, they should be in the Hall of Fame. Simeon Rice should be in the Hall of Fame. Even with the shit that happened recently between Asante Samuel and Coach Prime, Asante should be in the Hall of Fame though. In all honesty, is he on Prime's level as a corner? Absolutely not. But is he Hall of Fame material? Absolutely. There's a lot of guys. Jimmy Smith should be in the Hall of Fame. Fred Taylor should be in the Hall of Fame. Ricky Waters, should be in the Hall of Fame. It's a lot of people. You go, man, why isn't this guy in the Hall of Fame? It don't make no fucking sense why they not in the Hall of Fame. Chad Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame. In all reality, if we going, they're starting to ruin the sport because of all of this bullshit. I'm not sure if Charles Tillman gonna be in the Hall of Fame, and they call it the peanut punch, but it's like Charles Tillman should be in the Hall of Fame though. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like they fucked up the league because they fucked up what talent is. They don't want to treat people correctly. So it messes up the product. I can't say Deuce. I would love to say Deuce, but I can't say Deuce. I would love to say it, but I can't say Deuce because there are other people ahead of Deuce. Because Deuce didn't get enough yards rushing, and it sucks to say that. I really like Deuce, but can't say it for Deuce. I really can't say it for Deuce, and I want to, but I can't. Because I got to take Jamal Lewis over Deuce. I got to take Chris Johnson over Deuce. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I got to take Steven Jackson over Deuce. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, Priest, I can't. Priest had a 3-year run. It's fucked up to say that, but he had a 3-year run. If he didn't get it, if he didn't get hurt like that, he would have got over 100 touchdowns, and I'd have said, yeah, you got to throw Priest in there. But his run, it was epic. His run was definitely epic. You know what I'm saying? I can't deny that his run was definitely epic. But it's some running backs that I'm like, man, how y'all do these people like this? He said L. Who is L? Who? Cause it's a lot of receiver. LT already in there. LT already in there. Why you say L? I'm like, he already in there. But it's like, yeah, I forgot Ricky, but Ricky deserved to be there. Ricky deserved to be there. Bro, it's like just for me as a fan, it's a few people that deserve to be there that I don't. I'm kind of pissed off because I'm gonna be honest with you. Like people say, like even with cornerbacks, right? I can't say most of the cornerbacks from the 2000s deserve to be in the Hall of Fame over the people prior to them. I can't say that. And like, do I get why they say Darrelle Revis? I get it. I definitely get with Darrelle. Because lockdown corners are different than zone corners, but I'm gonna tell you, like, if you look at Dre Bly numbers and you look at like Richard Sherman numbers or Darrelle Revis numbers or Patrick Peterson's numbers, you gonna go, it like when it comes to cornerbacks, it's different. You know, with running backs, yeah, Roger Craig. I ain't gonna front. I'm gonna take Bo Jackson over Roger Craig because I just think Bo Jackson should be a Hall of Famer just on GP because it was no fucking stopping Bo. Like Bo was a whole nother animal. You know what I'm saying? Like honestly, if I put Roger Craig in there, I have to consider Thomas Jones. You know, I had to consider Thomas Jones in there because Thomas Jones did put in a lot of work, fam. A lot of work as a running back. You know, but yeah, like having a ring, yeah, I get it. No, you know, but he shut down great competition. Revis shut down great competition. I gotta give him that. But you know, I just like when it comes to that era, you know, we got Revis. What is it? Revis, Aqib Talib, Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman. Who else? Shit. Jared Allen belongs in the Hall of Fame. Absolute. I thought he got in though. Jared fucking belonged there. It ain't. I think he just got in though. I think he just got in this year. Absolutely deserved to be in there. You know, but you can make a case for you know, honestly, I think James Harrison is a Hall of Famer. Just in my opinion, I think James Harrison is a Hall of Famer. I can't see him not being a Hall of Famer. I just can't. You know, no, can't do Clinton. J.J. Watt definitely a Hall of Famer. J.J. Watt is definitely a Hall of Famer. It ain't no question. It ain't no question. When that motherfucker was healthy, and I live in Houston. When that motherfucker was healthy, god damn, it wasn't no stopping J.J. Watt, dog. As far as D lineman, he's probably in the top 5 that I've seen in my life. Reggie White number 1 as a D lineman. Reggie White number 1, but J.J. Watt up there. Like him and Aaron Donald up there as far as D lineman. They JJ was a problem. He was a damn problem. You know, I was glad to see, yeah, like Jim, JJ Watt, Warren Sapp. No, I mean JJ Watt didn't get robbed the MVP. I can't say JJ Watt got robbed the MVP because it's too many running backs that got robbed the MVP. They made it such a quarterback league. You know, Adrian Peterson should have been the MVP. Chris Johnson should have been the MVP. I think Calvin Johnson should have been the MVP the year he broke the receiving record. They just made it a quarterback fucking league, man. Like the MVP was just so tainted, man. I think Derrick Henry should have been the MVP when he went for 2000. Yeah, it's bad, bro. Yeah, Saquon should have been an MVP. Like the minute you do record breaking shit, I don't want to hit an offensive player of the year. You the MVP. Like there were years that like I think Tyreek Hill could have put up a he had an MVP worthy season. Like I just don't like how the NFL does that shit. You know, the real MVP gets offensive player of the year now. That don't make no damn sense. You know, that's a problem. But y'all, let me get up out of here, man. I'm gonna catch y'all, man. I gotta go to bed. But I'm put out this outro and I'm out, man. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
spoken from the lips of the young or the old, fear of me.
Yeah, gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cape through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, plus when I'm drunk, I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand fair weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you for coming out. Listen, I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.